Hey everyone, this is Law Gaming, and today we're going to discuss the possible future of promotional units in Battle Nations. In the original Battle Nations, we had a grand total of 46 promotional units over the lifetime of the game. These promo units ranged from the great to the mediocre to the completely overpowered and game-breaking. These units are some of the best units in the game, and some were fan favorites. They already exist in the game's code, so the question becomes, should they be added back into the new version of the game? And if so, how? The devs are probably going to consider how to balance some of these units, and I have a few suggestions on how they can be re-implemented into the game. The way I see it, there are three main categories of promo units. Those that can be somewhat balanced in the current game, those that are more powerful versions of existing units, and those that were very overpowered and probably should be rebalanced or limited in some way before they're re-added to the game. Units in the first category could just be added as normal units, trainable at their respective buildings. This would include units such as the Allied Brawler, the Death from Above, maybe the Nerf Boom Bus, and the AA Flak Gun, and all of the full-grown animals. Really, these units should just be added as either nanopod or resource units. They're not that powerful. They're good, but they're not promotional worthy. And I think they could just be units everyone can access in the game as is without really changing all that much as far as the balance of the game is concerned. The second category could be kept as promo units, maybe made into periodically available on a cycle of some kind. Maybe once a month they have a promo unit available, or during special events like holidays and boss strikes. This would include units like the Special Agent, the Deadeye, the Blood Ninja, the Mammoth Tank, and maybe the zombie-themed units just for Halloween. And the final category should be rebalanced in some way. These include the legendary animals, and maybe also like the mech tank, the mech artillery, and a handful of others. These either should be absolute endgame units only available at max level, like level 70 or above if we add more levels, or maybe as part of like an endgame quest. I've discussed this with the community before, but maybe the legendary animals can be held behind a endgame quest that ends with you fighting the legendary animal, and there's a % chance you'll get one and only one, because they're just so overpowered. The legendary sandworm and the legendary mammoth in particular really were game-breaking. They were, if you had them and you had the money to pay for them, you just won, and it kind of ruined the game's balance. So those are sort of what I think they should do, limit them in some way. In addition to changing some of the older units, either adding them back into the game just as normal units available in the game, or making them continual cycling promotional units, I would personally like to see promotional units stay a feature with Madrona games. I don't love the idea of FOMO, fear of missing out, although that's how you make money these days in gaming. Unfortunately, that's the truth. I wouldn't mind it being done by Madrona as long as it's not done in a extreme or exploitative way. They got to make some money, but I wouldn't want to see anything like the what were they, the ancient, the vaults that they had back in the original Battle Nations. I don't like the idea of gambling in Battle Nations or the gacha. I think that's a little bit silly. So I would like them to eventually, and I'm sure they're thinking of this as we speak, at least on the conceptual stage, of adding more promo units. I always liked in the original Battle Nations the feeling of collecting units. I like the feeling of exclusivity whenever you win units in a boss strike, or you get one of the fragment drops or the boss drops in the game. And promo units sort of felt like that. And I really did enjoy them at the time when I was much younger. But now I see, you got to consider balance. You got to consider what's fair to the players. And I don't mind, I know they're doing some things with the more limited, sort of like cosmetic limited, I wouldn't call them promotional, but they're related to the Patreon rewards. I think those are totally fair. They're just cosmetic. Something like that would be cool. It's sort of up for them to decide, but what would you like to see? Personally, I think that these are some good ideas and how they could re-implement the 46 old promo units. They could look at them and decide, is this one mid? Is it great? I don't know. And then once they've decided that, then they can start adding some of these new ones that I'm sure they have some ideas tucked away of what they would like to see in Battle Nations one way or another. But let me know what you think. What are some of your favorite promotional units in the game? Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you.